Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another reading. Today, I am feeling especially compelled to do a bit of tarot and oracle together. So, you'll see here I have the Tarot of the Divine and the Weaver Tarot, both of which are decks that I've absolutely fallen in love with. Now, these will be paired alongside the Threads of Fate Oracle, the Divine Feminine Oracle, as well as the Citadel Fantasy Oracle. So, whichever pile you choose today will have oracles coinciding with them as well. So, I'll let you take a moment to decide which one suits you best, and then we'll get started. Alright, so we're going to start with the Threads of Fate Weaver Tarot. And I'm going to just do a quick shuffle and see what comes out. And I try to leave my intentions very open with the cards, not put any themes in them. I have gotten a few requests for love readings, and I don't know why, but I do feel like perhaps today there might be something related to that. So I'm going to have to allow the cards to make their decisions for me and see if there's anything correlating to emotion or partnership, or perhaps the need to not explore that at all. So let's see if that will be our theme today, or if it will be something entirely different. Alright, it looks like there's one final card here. So I'm going to place this deck off to the side, and I'll sort these once I kind of get a better feel for what it is that we have. So starting off, we have the Strength card, followed by the Six of Wands. And then we have the Sun card, the High Sage, a lot of the major arcana, eh? The Hanged One, the Hanged Man, basically. Okay, I was right. Here we have the Two of Cups. Oh, I was wondering if this would be a love-based reading. Let's see here. When I look at this, I mean, again, the amount of major arcana cards really overwhelms this deck, or this pull rather. So it can be kind of hard almost to just settle into what it would be, because there's so many strong energies here. We have the Sun. This is a sign of hope. This is a sign of success, completion. We have the High Sage, about that intuition, about leaning into that sense of inner guidance. We have Strength, self-explanatory, much I say more. The Six of Wands, this is typically associated with reward, fame, notoriety. But then we also have the Hanged One here. And the Hanged One, being the Hanged Man, it's generally associated with sacrifice. So what I'm getting here is a lot of big themes. And of course, Two of Cups is a partnership of some sort. That could be business related or whatnot. But what I'm getting here is a lot of big energies, but not a whole lot of guidance with what they could be. So I'm going to take the Threads of Fate Oracle here, which pairs beautifully with this deck because it's by the same designers. So let me see if we can get any more clarity from these cards as well. Because with energies that strong, it can be very hard to place any sense of direction. Overall, I'm just getting a positive idea towards a partnership, but then I also see something of sacrifice. But my question is that sacrifice for you, or is that sacrifice from them? What is that sacrifice, you know? And with the association of the roses, you'll see there's roses like quite throughout the cards. So part of me wonders if there's any association with sacrificing that partnership. Okay, let's see what we have here. So we have trust. Let me make sure that's clear for you. Trust, get curious, get creative. I love how it's giving you two commands. There aren't too many cards in there with get at the beginning. Oh, goodness gracious. What could this mean? Get creative doesn't even really make sense to me. We're discovering this together today. Getting curious and having trust tells me that maybe this is a relationship that's worth exploring. I don't know about the getting creative part. We'll need more clarity on that. But as far as having trust that this may work out, or maybe that it's worth the sacrifice, right? We've got the Hanged Man there. Can I also just say how beautiful these cards are? I can't get over how beautiful this reading is. But I still need more clarity. So now we're going to go to the Citadel deck. And I'm going to see if I can get any themes provided with clarity here, because man, oh man, I would like some. I mean, perhaps this is also something the cards can do, is just say, no, you don't get clarity. You have to figure it out yourself. We just give you clues, right? And so that's a very real possibility we have to consider. So let's see what other themes are associated with this pull. What else is there to be said? We have these guys I'm feeling, even this one. Let's start with those. So that is the Weaver, rediscovery and transition. The Sentinel, which is about determination. Creativity comes up again, interesting. And the Chiromancer, delivering news or collaboration. Okay, I'm not the kind of reader who just does endless readings about if your ex is coming back or not, but it kind of seems like it. And I wonder if it's through some form of creativity, or creativity in some cases can be transferred to passion. So getting passionate about what you're doing. I feel like that's definitely a possibility. Delivering news, collaboration, it feels like they're coming in, again, with rediscovery and transition. It really feels like something's coming back, again, with the Hanged Rose. Something is coming back. But perhaps there's more of a state of enlightenment or feeling like you're creative in this process. I'm going to pull from the Divine Feminine. This is one of my favorite decks, because I've grown up practically with this deck at this point. And a lot of the goddesses and deities here will basically give you an idea of what to embody during this process. So let's see who wants to come out. I do see there's something there, but there's too many cards. There's too many voices. Should we just go with one? Let me see if there's anything else. I'm just going to do this with my eyes closed so that I have little to no potential control over it. Okay, I see two more. I don't know if this is an overpull. I'm going to start with the one and see if that makes more sense than me trying to reach. So we have Rabia, the Queen of Saintly Women. Let's see if I can get that to be clear here. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Oh dear. That really does give me the idea that you're sacrificing something for this love. If you're moving the way love wants you to, then perhaps you're not moving the way you want to. I do want to get an idea of what these were. Parvati and Lakshmi. Very similar goddesses, actually. Indian, and when you look at their headpieces, they're very similar as well. Lakshmi is very associated with abundance, financial abundance especially. She's the queen of having lots of money and whatnot. And then this one is the goddess of devotion. I am a love that doesn't leave. When I commit to my love, my soul evolves. Okay, well, I'm not telling you to go back to your ex, that's for sure. But whether or not the cards are giving you that idea, I don't know. It's going to someone, but in a new state. Like, I think if you do it with the same mindset that you came into it with, it's not going to be good. But there's a lot of ideas of redeveloping your creativity, using your intuition, having strength. I know it's all hidden back here, but remembering that there's strength. And I think that the relationship could reward you kindly if you're in the right space for it. It seems like there's abundance potentially associated with it. So, best of luck with you on this journey, because boy, oh boy, it just seems like there's a lot going on. Anyway, if you want more details or if you want something more specific with this, I would suggest I have a link down in the description. So if you want a personalized reading, I do have them there. And also all of the decks that are available, I will leave a link to purchase them in the description as well. If you like this, please feel free to give me a follow or just put a like there, and that tells me that what I'm doing is good. And that way, if I don't see anything like that, I know to adjust, because ultimately I want these readings to matter and to be meaningful to people. And so unless you want to comment or something like that, I don't really have a reference otherwise. So I really, really do appreciate it. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, a bonus for anyone who stuck around. I flipped over the entire deck as I was putting the cards away. And look at that. The Lover's card was on the very bottom of the deck. I happened to just turn around and that was the final card. So, man, was this ever a love reading or not? All right. Hello and welcome to your reading. I have the Tarot of the Divine deck here. So I'm going to give it a quick shuffle and we're going to see what it has in store for you. So let us see what is ready and willing to show itself. I see a lot of cards that are kind of sticking their way up, but whether or not they want to stay that way, yeah, I think we have a pretty clear series here, so I'm just going to pull it from that. We've got this and this. I'm telling you guys, sometimes I do a lot of readings and the same card gets pulled no matter what. And while I do my best to try to pull without any personal intention, I would say that ultimately it can be very difficult, because I do think that sometimes the cards are just trying their best to reach me. And I'll explain that in a moment for you. But I'm just going to take all of these here. And then we'll get started shortly. So I see a pretty wide variety of what's happening here. We have, well, let me gather these up first off, because we had a lot going on. So we first have the Two of Coins, or Two of Pentacles. Then we have the Six of Wands. Then we have the Star. Then we have the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Emperor, the Nine of Wands, another 9 there, and the Four of Wands. Immediately, I do see a fair amount of fire energy, a lot of creative energy. I do get the feeling that you're debating going back to something, it looks like. We have the Two of Coins. Perhaps it's something that you feel like if you go back to it, it'll provide you with more stability. But it looks like if you let it go, there's actually more of a reward for letting it go. And if you stay, like if I read it here, the way that I'm kind of seeing it, I see the option of Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords almost as two options, either extreme anxiety, overthinking, suffering at the thoughts that you've created, or leaving things behind. And I do see that when making the correct decision, I'm not going to make that decision for you. There's an opportunity for new love. There's an opportunity, or just clarity of emotion. That can be another thing, like moving forward and enjoying your emotion. Clarity of thought. A lot of hope and feeling like there's healing coming to you, structure, and ultimately a sense of stability and feeling like you finally have found a sense of home, a sense of safety, a sense of fulfillment. So I'd love to know more details on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from the Threads of Fate Oracle, and we'll see if we can get any more details or correlated themes, because it doesn't really seem like what you're running from is very clear. It's not about whether it's a relationship or a work-related situation or a family-related situation. It's just rather general. Okay. Let's see what we have here. We have the Weaver. Then, what are the remaining here? Higher Perspective. Destruction. Oh, goodness. Okay. And Connect to Heart. Now, what do these add? What do these add to it? I'm getting the idea that you need to recreate your own fate, and in doing so, that requires you to really destroy something that is not serving you. And you'll know this based on your heart and your intuition. But it will probably be a bit messy, a bit difficult. Maybe that's where the pain comes from, is leaving it behind may cause you to experience some anxiety or unpleasant thoughts. But when you come out of thought, and this is generally where I see higher perspective, which I kind of correlate to a high priestess card, when you get into that state, you aren't going so much from thought. You are going more so from heart, but above all, you're going from a state of consciousness and a lack of attachment to your ego. And perhaps that is what you're destroying, is the ego, in order to create something new. But I still have more questions. I still want to know more. So we're going to bring in the Citadel here. And I'm just going to see what the Citadel might try to offer us. I do see a few cards that kind of come out automatically. It really seems to be in groups of 4 today. Normally it's 2s or 3s, but there's a lot that needs to be shared apparently. Oh yeah, you need to break something or end something. We have the Vengeance, we have the Wise One, we have the Miser, and we have the Weave. Oh my god. Look at this. How did you get this twice in 2 completely different decks? These are not made by the same people at all, but the similarity, not just in the obvious name factor, but even in the imagery. What are you creating? And Weaver also kind of can be symbolizing of almost like a puppeteer, like someone who's in control of that. Okay, what I'm getting from this overall is that it's kind of just matching the energy. So we have the Wise One, which is tradition and order, could be very similar to the higher perspective. We have the Vengeance, overcoming slight, a choice, that goes well with destruction. The Miser, this says stubbornness and inflexibility. I feel like that kind of goes up here with your 9 of Swords. So there's something in you that resists this. But there's also a lot of callings for you to recreate, to basically destroy what you've had and to recreate something new. I also noticed that this is an overall very large change for you. It's not based on just emotion or just logic or just passion. We have earth, we have fire, we have water. If we go into the Swords cards, we have air. Like there's really not a singular direction. It's this is cool. I'm so surprised that these Weaver cards came together and these cards came together. But okay, so the final deck that I like to use is the Divine Feminine. And what it does is kind of give us an idea of who to embody. And a lot of these deities are based in history. So it's kind of interesting seeing, oh, okay, if you want to come out, go right ahead. I do find that happens with this deck a lot, is they will just fly out of the deck rather than me even having to pull anything. So I think that was it there. We have Thekla, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times, all places. I am my own. Yeah, you're supposed to cause some chaos here, I see. Some major chaos, it would seem. And who was the one that I pulled out? Rabia. I actually pulled this last time as well. How interesting. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Now, in this context, I think, again, it's coming from your heart rather than your mind, but also that you need to take control of the situation. Whatever you're deciding to build, it is time to just destroy, whether that's old thought patterns, old ways of life. Maybe it's time to let go of a job. Maybe it's time to move away from something. Maybe it's time to end a relationship. Wherever it feels like you've lost your power or lost your sense of self, it is asking you very, very strongly to rebuild something you want from not your thought process, what you think would be best, but from what you feel. Because perhaps from what you've been thinking, that's where this whole problem has come from. And you can't get clarity until you destroy what it is that has been holding your power back. What is this? Oh my God, this is crazy. I'm really, really impressed with this reading. I really love it. So I hope you do too. If you want something more personalized with more details, I'd be happy to do that. I'll leave a link in the description, and as well for all of the different decks so that you can take a look and see if there's anything that you would like to purchase for yourself. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, I post videos pretty much every week. So if you subscribe, you'll get to see them. And leaving comments or likes really helps me get an idea if my readings are great or if there are any areas I need to improve. So I very much appreciate your feedback. Anyhow, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.